Hello, hello. Today what we're going to do is we're going to work through our 90-90 mobility series. So we'll be in our 90-90 position for the entire series here, and it should take about 10 minutes to run through this. So what we're going to do first is we're going to set up in our 90-90. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that front knee is coming right out from the front of the hip there, and our backside knee is coming right out from the side of our hip. And then from this position, we should have a 90-degree angle at both knees. And we're going to take that free hand on the side and help prop us up nice and tall. From this position, the first movement that we're going to start with is going to be our active folds. So what we want to do is we want to come over the knee about a third of the way, making sure that we keep that chest up and we're not slouching. So from this position here, we're going to go ahead and push that front knee down into the ground, about 70 to 80% of our effort. We're going to hold this for 10 seconds. So we're pushing, we're holding, and after that 10 seconds, we're going to relax that leg and allow ourselves to fall over it just a little bit more. Repeat that same process, pushing that front knee down into the ground at about 70 to 80%, holding for 10 seconds, and then relaxing and repeating that process just one more time. So we're all the way over the knee here, pushing that front knee down into the ground and holding for 10. Should be feeling a nice big stretch here through the back side of that hip, through the inside of the hamstrings here. And once we're done, cool, we're going to come all the way back up nice and tall. And then from this position, we're going to go ahead and work our three-way reaches. So we're going to start with that reach right over the front of the shin here, using that hand to help kind of propel me forward as well for a little bit of a deeper stretch. And then we're going to reach right over that knee, back up nice and tall, and right over that foot. So again, we want to do this for 5 reps to each position. Just feeling that stretch from all different angles. We're going to work one more time through here before we move on. But again, I want you to go for 5 reps to each position. Perfect. So we're going to transition to the other side here. We're going to repeat that same process. So make sure we're sitting up nice and tall to start. In our 90-90 position, we're going to fold over about a third of the way and push that front knee down into the ground. 70 to 80%, holding for 10. Go ahead and relax and fall over it just a little bit more and repeat that process. Pushing that front knee down into the ground, holding for 10, making sure that we're breathing, and relaxing, and one more time. Again, using that free hand to help kind of pull and propel me up and over that front knee, and pressing back in and holding for 10. Perfect. And then once we finish up with that, we'll do our same 3-way stretch. We're going to go 5 reps to each position as well. Again, I'm going to work through it 3 times just so you get a good idea of what we're looking for and what it looks like. And if you can't quite reach the ground or go too far, that's okay. We'll build on it and we'll build into it. And we're going to finish up one last stretch here. Perfect. So then from this same position, we're going to go ahead and work right into our transitions. I'm going to spin to the side just so you can get a good view. And the goal here is we want to begin that motion lifting the back knee, trying to create a gap between both knees. So I'm going to take that other hand, bring it back behind me, lift that knee, and a slow transition to the other side. Again, making sure I stay up nice and tall and I'm not slouching through this process. Repeating that same motion back the other way. Taking your time here. The goal is not to rush through these, but to feel a nice big stretch and big opening in the hips. We're going to work 5 times each way. We're going to go one more time here again, just so we get a good view. See how the motion looks, what we're looking for. Perfect. Once we finish up with those 5, then we're going to go ahead and transition right into our leg lifts. So we're going to start with a front leg lift here. And we can take those hands right in front of the front leg there and prop us up nice and tall. If we have some trouble from that, then we'll just bring those hands back behind us and open up that front hip just a little bit more. But from here, we're gonna sit up nice and tall, and we're gonna lift that front leg up off the ground. Again, trying to avoid slouching at all. And if that leg doesn't come up off the ground very high, that's okay, not a problem. We're gonna go 10 reps here. I'm gonna go one more just for us. Perfect. And then, before we switch sides, we're gonna go ahead and transition right into our backside leg lifts. So still in that 90-90 position, both hands are now gonna come underneath that front knee to the side here to give us a little bit of space in the hip. Now we can obviously pick the hands up for a little bit more of a challenge here. But for today, bring the hands out over that front knee, prop up nice and tall, and we're gonna lift that back foot off the ground. So I'm gonna bring it up, small pause, and back down. We wanna work 10 reps here as well. Again, try not to slouch here, let the head fall. We wanna be up nice and tall for these. We're gonna go one more time. Perfect. And before we transition to the other side, the last thing that we'll work through would be our front leg slides or extensions. So again, hands here on the ground, or you can pick them up for more of a challenge, not a problem. We're gonna keep one down and we're gonna go ahead and extend that leg out, toes to the sky and back. We're gonna work these just 5 times. These are a little tough. And if you have trouble getting the toes up to the sky, not a problem. We'll build on it. And once we finish up with those 5, let's go ahead and transition to the other side here. Cool. So again, we start with our front leg lifts. Hands down in front or back behind us for a little bit easier position. And lift. Again, we're working 10 reps here. We're gonna go just probably 4 or 5. Just so we get a good idea. Perfect. And then we'll work right into that backside foot lift. Both hands over the front knee here, or up for more of a challenge. And lift. Again, my head's not down, I'm not staring off into space. I'm up nice and tall, focused on lifting that back foot. And let's go one more. Cool. Bringing those hands back in front and working our slides. And we'll go 2 more times. Perfect. So then before we switch sides, we can go ahead and finish out here. We're gonna bring that back knee up to the heel or the front foot. I like to lift my hands up for these, but again, you can use that hand down if this is a new movement or a little bit of a challenge. This last movement is optional, okay? This is gonna be our shin box position. So what we're gonna do from here is we're gonna go ahead and press up onto our front shin, extending both hips forward. So as I do so, I'm gonna press up, bring both hips forward, and lower back down with control. I don't wanna just flop back down to the ground. So I come all the way up tall, nice big stretch, feel that backside working, lower back down, and repeat. We'll do this for 5 reps on both sides. And with this last one here, perfect. That'll conclude our 90-90 hip mobility series.